Shadows of Eidos.
Chapter 4. Dance of Shadows. Morning came, with pale sunlight filtering through the curtains. Kai lay in bed, staring at the ceiling. Yesterday's conversation with his mother left a bitter aftertaste. She knew about the shadows, and her worry now hung over him like a storm cloud. Yet her words, "We'll figure it out," warmed something deep inside. The seal on his arm itched, the darkness stirred under his skin, as if waiting for its time. A knock at the window pulled him from his thoughts. Kai jumped up, throwing off the blanket. Outside stood Aiko, her chestnut hair fluttering in the wind, her wide eyes shining with worry. "Kai, open up!" Her voice was muffled but insistent. He flung the window open, helping her climb in. Aiko landed on the floor, her school uniform slightly wrinkled, her skirt riding up to reveal her knees. She quickly smoothed it down, glancing away in embarrassment. "What are you doing here?" Kai blurted, staring at her. "It's not even 8 yet." "I couldn't sleep. Yesterday's conversation with your mother left a bitter aftertaste. She knew about the shadows, and her worry now hung over him like a storm cloud." He sighed, rubbing the back of his neck. Her gaze was too sincere to brush off. "It's complicated, Aiko. Those shadows are from another world, Eidos. They're hunting me because of this thing." He showed the seal, the black labyrinth faintly glowing. "It appeared after a dream, and now I'm caught up in all of this. I'm still trying to figure out what to do." Aiko stepped closer, her fingers gently brushing his arm. A faint glow spilled from her palm, and the itching of the seal faded, replaced by warmth. "I can feel it," she whispered, her voice trembling. "It's alive and dangerous, but I don't want you to face it alone, Kai. I can help." "Help?" He softly pushed her hand away, though its warmth lingered on his skin. "You almost got hurt yesterday. This isn't your war." "What if I said I can sense them too? Not the way you do, but something inside me stirs whenever they're near. I can't explain it, but I know I need to be with you." Kai froze, staring at her face. Her words struck something inside. Fear, maybe? Or hope? Before he could answer, the door burst open. His mother stood on the threshold, her eyes darting between her son and the girl. "Kai, who is this? And why is she climbing in through the window?" "This is Aiko, my classmate." He hurried to explain. "She came to talk. Nothing bad." Her mother narrowed her eyes, but noticing the worry in Aiko's face, she softened. "Fine, but next time, use the door. Understood?" She looked at Kai. "Breakfast in 10 minutes. And no more secrets. Agreed?" Kai nodded, feeling a sting of guilt. His mother laughed, casting one last glance at Aiko. The girl exhaled, smiling faintly. "She's kind," Aiko said, "but you still owe me answers. Let's go to the lot together. I want to see how you train." Kai hesitated, then nodded. "All right, just stay clear of the fight." The lot behind the school. Noon. Kai and Aiko arrived at the vacant lot where Misa, Rin, Takeshi, and Yuta were already waiting. The air smelled of dust and metal. Training began without a preamble. Takeshi stepped forward, the chain in his hands unfurling like a living thing. "Reaction is your shield," he said, whipping the chain. Kai dodged, darkness bursting from the seal and striking the ground where the metal had just landed. The mark it left was deep, scorched. Takeshi nodded, spinning the chain again, this time from both sides, swirling it through the air. Kai leapt, rolled, and lashed out with darkness, shredding the chain into pieces. "Not bad." Takeshi caught the fragments, his gaze approving. "You're not just dodging anymore." Misa twirled her axes and charged. "Precision, rookie." She threw one axe at a tree behind him and another into the air above. Kai ducked under the first, darkness whipping upward to catch the second and fling it aside.
Misa whistled. Almost like a pro, she grinned. Let's get serious. She hurled 3 axes at once, their blades flashing. Kai focused, the seal blazing brighter. Darkness erupted like a net, catching all 3 and slamming them into the ground with a crack. Now that's what I'm talking about. Misa clapped her hands. You're almost ready, kid. Rin came last, knives spinning in her hands. Speed, she said, tossing one into the air. Catch. Kai lashed darkness, catching the knife in a black thread and returning it to her feet. Rin smiled, stepping closer. Her jumpsuit clung to her body, emphasizing every curve. She bent, adjusting the knife on her thigh, her locks falling across Kai's face, her chest brushing his arm. You're faster than yesterday, she whispered, her voice low, almost intimate. But let's test your endurance. She straightened, trailing a finger slowly down his chest, lingering at his neck. Kai swallowed, heat rising, not only from the seal. Rin, stop! He stepped back, but his voice faltered. Oh, you're so cute when you blush. She leaned closer, her thigh pressing against his side, her lips nearly brushing his ear. Just imagine how I'll train you alone. Aiko, watching from the side, clenched her fists, her cheeks burning, her gaze sharp, but she turned away, biting her lip. They were interrupted by a low hum. The air near the fence rippled, and from the shadow stepped Jiro. His cloak billowed, a rune-carved sword strapped to his back, and his smile seemed too warm for his cold eyes. I see you've grown stronger, Kai. You found good company. He stepped closer. Jiro? Kai tensed, the darkness in the seal stirring. What are you doing here? Just checking on my comrade. He spread his hands, though his tone dripped with falsehood. The shadows are getting bolder. You need someone like me at your side. Misa stepped forward, axes gleaming in her hands. You needed? She spat on the ground. After what you did in Kyoto, Jiro, I'd sooner feed you to the shadows. Rin narrowed her eyes, her knives hovering in the air. 3 years ago, you betrayed our squad for Eidos. How many of us died because of your deal with the Queen? Jiro laughed, but it was sharp, like a blade. You're still clinging to the past? I made a choice. I survived. And you, still scurrying from shadows like rats? Shut up. Misa lunged, axe flashing. Jiro dodged, his sword gleaming as it deflected the strike. You haven't changed, Misa. He smirked, still hot-headed. Yuta stepped forward, planting himself between Misa and Jiro. His thin shoulders were taut, but his voice was firm. Stay away from her, he said, clutching his tablet, or I'll hack your life down to the last bite. Jiro narrowed his eyes, then backed off, raising his hands. Fine, hero, I'll go. But you, Kai, he fixed his gaze on him. Think about who your real friends are. See you around. He melted into shadow, leaving ringing silence behind. Misa lowered her axes, her gaze softening as she looked at Yuta. Thanks, Specs, she said warmly. Didn't think you were that brave. Yuta shrugged, but the corners of his mouth twitched into a faint smile. Just don't like anyone messing with my own, he muttered, returning to his tablet. Kai frowned, mulling over Jiro's words. What did he mean about Kyoto? Old story. Rin waved it off, but her tone was sharp. He sold us out. Don't trust him, Kai. She stepped closer, her hands sliding over his shoulder, fingers lingering at his neck. Better think about me, she whispered, her breath hot on his skin. I can teach you so much. Aiko clenched her fists tighter, her eyes blazing. She strode over, her voice trembling with restrained anger. Kai, we're leaving, she said, grabbing his hand. Enough of this circus. Rin laughed, stepping back. Oh, what a little jealous girlfriend. She winked. Run along, kid. But I'll catch you later. Kai followed Aiko, the darkness in the seal pulsing in rhythm with his heart. Her hand gripped his wrist, fingers trembling with tension. Rin stayed behind, her laughter still ringing in his ears, her provocative gaze burning into his back. Aiko was silent, but her steps were quick, almost angry. Aiko, are you okay? Kai asked, trying to free his hand. She stopped, turned, her wide eyes shimmering with anger and something else. Pain, maybe? I just want you to be careful, she said softly. Those people, they're dangerous. And that Rin, she's playing with you. I know, Kai sighed, rubbing his neck where Rin's fingers had left warmth. But they're helping me. Without them, I'd already be dead.
Aiko nodded, but her gaze stayed heavy. Just don't forget I'm here, all right? She released his hand, turning away. Let's go home. The morning's been long. Kai watched her, feeling something tighten inside. The day had left too many questions. Jiro, the shadows, the training. But the evening promised a break. Behind them, Misa called out. Hey, rookie! We're chilling tonight. Bring your girlfriend if you're not afraid to have fun. Kai rolled his eyes, but nodded. Maybe rest was exactly what he needed.